Of some of the players embracing, high fives, a few hugs. Was it always that friendly, Thierry?
And after, during the game, and after the game, obviously not so much. But that's something that I always say. I never personally understood why it is what it is. But you play with each other in the national team. Why are you not going to say hi? And then if I have to do something on the field, if I have to kill you in bracket when I say you do it because you play for Barcelona or you play for Real Madrid, but you know that's a normal thing in Spain. People will kiss, hi, how are you? But then when the ref blows the whistle, it's another story.
Just briefly, Guillaume, in terms of the political context of today's game, it's not a political programme we're doing here, but given the Catalan regional elections, what would be the symbolic significance, if any, of a Barcelona victory?
The elections were 2 days ago. Obviously, people are still trying to mold exactly what happened and what it means. But remember that if fans don't travel away, it must be about maybe 300, 400 Barcelona fans, so they won't be heard. But certainly Real Madrid and the Real Madrid fans, they've shown that they want to, every time they're meeting a Catalan team, they want to make very clear the position. So the stands will just make a stand for the Spanish nationalism. And I think, even though there's not a very political camp this squad of Barcelona, there's one or two there that will really appreciate that victory, not just for the 3 points.
How important do you think the atmosphere is going to be today? How much of a role, how much of a 12th man for Real Madrid can the Bernabeu be?
I think it is going to be what it's going to be, but I don't think at that moment the players that you have on that field and the magnitude of the game, you almost don't hear the stadium anymore. It's what's happening on the field, 11v11 plus the bench, which we believe that the one of Real Madrid is stronger than the one of Barcelona, but you don't really think about that when you're there.
OK, so this is the Real Madrid starting lineup, and this is the one change from the side that started the Club World Cup final win over Gremio in Abu Dhabi, which is a significant one. And there he is in the centre. Mateo Kovacic comes in for Isco, who is on the bench, along with Gareth Bale. Just very, very briefly, what about the contribution from the bench? Yeah.
Well, the names: Isco, Lucas Vázquez, Asensio, Bale. Those are the forwards. And in a minute, we'll compare them to the forwards. Oh, well, Barcelona, but can you see any?
No, well, this is it. There's no Deulofeu. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's just quickly mention Jose Maria Sanchez Martinez. He's never officiated a Real Madrid defeat, taking charge of 9 games with them involved, won 7 and drawn 2. He also did the Supercopa second leg, which Madrid won 2-0, and he sent Mateo Kovacic off against Valencia. This is Barcelona then. So the one change for them from the side that started the 4-0 win at home to Deportivo last weekend is the introduction of Sergio Busquets for Paco Alcácer, who is out injured. And then obviously you're going to have Messi and Suarez up front. Guillaume, can you hear the atmosphere?
That's not normal. They put the volume down and allow people to shout. They're normally much quieter than this. They're very up for it, of course, the fans.
By the way, 173 Clasico appearances each for Real Madrid and Barcelona, and transfer fees for the two sides combined, the starting 11s, totalling almost £400 million. Wow. Of course, we've got to have a little bit of pre-match atmosphere, and that is the 6th Club World Cup that Real Madrid have won. And Sergio Ramos doing the honours. They tend to do this. Ronaldo celebrated his Ballon d'Or in front of the Bernabeu, and so Ramos doing the same with the Club World Cup.
And there is no guard from Barcelona to celebrate that, so it was just a reminder who is the world champion.
What a coincidence.
Let's not talk about Pasillos with Thierry. He's already had to go through that pain before in a Barcelona shirt. So this is it. We are all set for the first La Liga Clásico of this 2017-18 season. So let's hand you to your commentary team. It's a happy birthday to Terry Gibson and a happy Clásico day to Rob Palmer.
And Feliz Navidad to everybody else as well. Make no plans for the next couple of hours. Forget your Christmas shopping. Put the phone on silent. Take a seat, take a pew, get yourself ready for the greatest game on the globe. Well, they had the pro-independence votes this week in Catalonia, win today, and Barcelona will put some distance between themselves and the men from the capital. The aim for them is for the first time ever to win 3 successive La Liga games at the Estadio Bernabeu. Barcelona top of the table. But remember, Real Madrid are the champions of Spain, the champions of Europe, just crowned the champions of the world as well. And they are really up for this one, full strength. One slight surprise from Zinedine Zidane. Kovacic starts his first La Liga game of the season. Maybe in the mind of Zidane is the success in the Spanish Super Cup when Kovacic started both of the games. Terry Gibson, what's in your crystal ball?
Well, just looking at the position that Kovacic has started in, he's playing up there alongside Busquets in an advanced role.
There is Cristiano Ronaldo to Toni Kroos. Carvajal overlapping, throwing the ball into the sunshine. This beautiful day in the Spanish capital. A lot of the supporters are wearing sunglasses. A little local difficulty. The referee, Jose Maria Sanchez Martinez, making his views known with Gerard Piqué. We normally get an early goal in the Clásico. More often than not, it has been Real Madrid who score early as well. Kroos fires it in, free header, we've got that early goal! But it's not going to count. Ronaldo was lurking offside.
Well, I refrain from speaking too long about the position of Kovacic because I know full well we do get early goals in this fixture. I expected it to be Real Madrid that start off in a real ferocity in their attacking play. Players committed into getting to the attacking half. They're going to try and press and win the ball back quickly from Barcelona. We're looking to try and ease their way into the game. It's a clear offside. Good decision. Casemiro with the initial header. And the correct decision from the referee. Ronaldo offside. As he slams it past Ter Stegen from close range off the underside of the crossbar. But the goal doesn't count.
No technology needed. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi have both got 53 goals each in the year 2017. Just joining us, of course, no Gareth Bale in the starting lineup. The famous BBC haven't been together on the pitch for a single minute in La Liga since the Clásico last year in April. Gareth Bale, has gone 90 minutes only 4 times in 63 games. He's on the bench, Asensio's on the bench, Isco on the bench. The creative department are watching from the sidelines. It's a functional team picked by Zinedine Zidane. Kroos to Marcelo, very much on the front foot. It's Real Madrid who are setting the pace of the game. Ronaldo, the trademark step over. Piqué gets his big boot in the way.
We saw Marcelo push forward and the importance on both teams' fullbacks today. In terms of attacking play, defensive play, we've got essentially 8 central midfield players. So the onus is going to be on the fullbacks to push forward and then at the same time get back and defend against their direct opponent.
There is Dani Carvajal, he has a shooting opportunity. Just merely takes the lunchtime dew off the grass. Busquets. Iniesta has been preserved to be fully fit for this game.
However, the long-range attempt doesn't have the power to contribute to Stegen. And so the Barcelona players actually do depart the 6-yard box. Ronaldo is in there alone. Correct call from the officials.
It does show that Ronaldo has got his scoring instincts about him. He's only scored 4 goals in La Liga so far this season, but he has been excelling, especially in European competition. 9 in the Champions League, in the hero in the club World Championship. Ronaldo tiptoes along that touchline. Benzema, the only player in the area. Barcelona have hardly escaped their own half in the opening 5 minutes of this game. First mention of Lionel Messi. Here is Kovacic, the surprise inclusion in ahead of Bale and Isco and Asensio. Modric. It is pantomime season, and here's Peter Pan, the little Croatian midfield player. 32 years of age, a bundle of energy. Piqué shielding his eyes from the sun. His fingers might have to go in his ears. He's not popular in these parts.
See, it's Marcelo there closing down Sergio Roberto, so Marcelo really advanced. You can see clearly how Real Madrid, what they want to do, try and win the ball back quickly, force Barcelona into playing long balls to the strikers, and hope that would expect Ramos and Varane to win those aerial challenges.
A couple of years ago we had the 5 costliest players ever performing in this game. None of the top 5 costliest players are on the pitch at the moment. Only Cristiano Ronaldo. But Barcelona would love to get Dembele out there. The summer signing is only performed a couple of times.
A sudden burst of energy from Barcelona, and it was led by Lionel Messi. He was the first player to move around the pitch to try and put pressure on the Real Madrid players, and then we see the appeal from Barcelona, but the foul against Casemiro and Paulinho, which wasn't given.
Valverde doesn't have a great record against Zinedine Zidane. He's faced him 5 times as a manager and lost all 5. Suarez is offside.
And he wasn't manager of Barcelona when he was taking Zidane up these other fixtures.
Well, they have faced each other, of course, 3 times this season. Once in that high-profile friendly game in the United States in Miami in July, and then in the Spanish Super Cup. That is why Suarez was arguing. He felt that he wasn't offside. The man with the flag thought otherwise.
It was a close call, wasn't it? Sergio Ramos was the deepest Real Madrid defender. It appeared to be pretty level with Luis Suarez. Very little in that call. It will be a common theme, though, throughout the game. We will see Luis Suarez caught offside on a number of occasions. His attempt to steal a yard, to get him behind Varane and Ramos.
So much nervous tension out there. A game fueled by stress. Rakitic, Busquets, Thomas Vermaelen, the forgotten man of Barcelona, who's had to return with the defensive crisis. Mascherano, it appears, is heading to China. Titi is out until the new year. So Vermaelen, who hadn't started a game since January 2016, has suddenly returned for 4 games in a row. And your former skipper of Arsenal is short of experience. And of Thierry Henry's Belgian boys.
Well, he has been playing regularly for the international team, over 60 caps. There's no doubt about his quality as a central defender. It's just, it's unfortunate. It's about his reliability in terms of being fit, being able to maintain fitness.
He started more games for Belgium this year than he has Barcelona. Varane, Modric, Carvajal in the outside lane. Kovacic to Casemiro. Brings a different dimension to the midfield, Kovacic, and the way they're lining up, the suggestions that he was out there to man-mark Messi seem to be a little wide of the mark.
Yeah, he's almost in the same position as Isco, but I think it's just essentially it's Casemiro sitting deeper than the other 3, isn't it?
Ronaldo awaits, comes to Ronaldo, mid-kick from Ronaldo. Carvajal can't get there. Emergency action taken by Iniesta, who's done himself some damage. The rare wild air kick for the World Player of the Year.
He'll claim it was a dummy. Good attacking play again from Real Madrid. Really bright down the left side of the attack. It's always cut back to Ronaldo. We're all expecting at the very least for him to test Ter Stegen. Complete miss kick. Carvajal, see here. It was really good work from Iniesta to make sure that Carvajal was rushed to taking that opportunity.
He's feeling a little embarrassed. It's not like there's 500 million people watching him. Well, this is problematic for Barcelona. Their leader, Andres Iniesta, looks decidedly uncomfortable down there. The signs are not, I'm no doctor, but the club doctor is taking his time treating him. The signs are not good here, Terry.
Well, they'll be hoping that he just took a blow and it's just an impact injury. As he slides, he makes the challenge, and does he look the twist, or does he catch the...
Or caught the just below the shin guard
studs of Danny Carvajal.
Yeah, just above the boot where there's no protection.
So no intent from Danny Carvajal, was there, other than to get to the ball first, and Danny Carvajal shoot towards goal.
Barcelona down a player as Kroos throws the corner in. Piqué takes control. Iniesta's okay, he's going to jog round and rejoin the party. Kroos launches it. Barcelona have all bases covered. Retrieved by Varane. Jordi Alba's header. Modric assesses the situation. The all-action Danny Carvajal. Ronaldo nods it down, but the referee spotted that.
Paul Sergio Ramos stayed up in the attack after the set piece, was not in a rush to get back, so added to the numbers. And that's important for Real Madrid, that they don't just rely on Ronaldo and Benzema. To really attacking players, we see Ronaldo with just a little push, we saw from a different angle. A little nudge on Sergio Roberto to ease him out of the way. He's back on, it was just an impact injury, so relief for Valverde, I'm pretty sure.
Busquets, Marcelo, arms go up, flag stays down until Ronaldo touches the ball. The assistant on this near side teasing everybody.
There's been 2 or 3 of those instances where the Barcelona players have been waiting and expecting the assistant referee's flag to go up. On this occasion it does. Correctly called offside.
Directly to Paulinho, who's been the surprise success of the season. The fans are expecting Coutinho, they got Paulinho. It is the leading midfield scorer in the whole of Spain. Rakitic. Busquets, a strangely lazy ball.
I'm not sure, I was pretty sure that wasn't the case. Ronaldo here. Pressure from Piqué. Jersey from Piqué.
Brilliant run from Modric. He's spotted by Ter Stegen.
I'm sure that's ideal though for Real Madrid. It's a fantastic run from Modric, but they want him scheming in midfield, don't they? Keeping the play ticking over for Real Madrid as opposed to making runs down the channel.
Varane. Keylor Navas. Carvajal. Modric. Casemiro. World Cup winner Toni Kroos to Cristiano Ronaldo, World Player of the Year. Marcelo. To the slipstream of Cristiano Ronaldo. Now carrying Benzema. Jordi Alba gets in the way. Messi. Varane's played a very high line. If anything, he seems to be the man who's babysitting Lionel Messi.
It's just communication, isn't it, between the likes of Varane and Ramos and Casemiro.
Here is Messi, starting from deep. Iniesta. Jordi Alba. It's a well-intentioned ball from Iniesta. This was the disputed offside.
We're talking centimetres, aren't we? And that's the type of striker Luis Suarez is. Tries to make sure that he can make that dancing run in behind. He trusts the midfield players, and so he should. So we're likely given the service that he needs. It's just a matter of time in those runs. He was unlucky on that occasion. He's been called offside, but I think acceptable error there from the assistant referee.
Benzema to Modric to hold it up as Ronaldo's offside. Barcelona playing a very high line. They're famed for their spectacular goals, Barcelona, but under Valverde they've got a tremendously well-organised defence. This season they've had 16 clean sheets, including 3 in a row in their last 3 matches.
Kovacic and Casemiro have swapped roles there, haven't they? It's Casemiro that's gone forward.
Referee sees nothing wrong in the challenge. This is Rakitic. Nice turn away from Marcelo. I have to go solo. Messi's with him now. Suarez to the right. Paulinho across the face. Coolly away by Varane. Picked up by Toni Kroos. Casemiro. Kroos. Now Benzema. Vermaelen diving in there on the Frenchman. A bit of a cautious start, but things are beginning to open up a little bit here.
Yeah, I think Valverde will be pleased with his team's start because they haven't conceded a goal. He would have known full well that with the point situation, the deficit that Real Madrid have at the moment, Real Madrid would have come out of the traps quickly. Be pleased that his team are just settling into the game now, having little spells of possession.
Modric. Legged up by Vermaelen. The card follows.
Busquets giving the ball away. The square pass in midfield left Barcelona vulnerable to the counter-attack, and cynical foul in the end from Vermaelen and Modric. I'm surprised to see the yellow card shown.
Thomas Vermaelen has to watch his step for the remainder of the game. Last time he was sent off, it was on his debut last year for Roma when on loan. Ter Stegen making himself known above the din of the Bernabeu. Easy for Busquets. Paulinho not allowed to carry the ball out. He's been a little low-key so far, Sergio Ramos.
He's actually quite lucky to get away with that one in terms of the yellow card as well, isn't he? Because again, it was a cynical foul, a tactical foul to make sure that Barcelona didn't get up the field.
Well, he's normally somewhere in the headlines, good or bad. Ramos, when it comes to a Clásico, been dismissed in 3 of the last 7 against Barcelona that he's played. He's scored a last-minute equaliser 12 months ago. Jordi Alba gets himself in a tangle. Iniesta helps it on. So far, Real Madrid tactically have got it right. They haven't allowed any of Valverde's creative minds to express themselves.
Yep, we've seen very little of Iniesta and Paulinho and Lionel Messi and Suarez.
Modric has been the most prominent Real Madrid player so far. Seeking Ronaldo. Ronaldo steadies himself. He has options. His favourite option was to go solo. Paulinho. Casemiro catches his fellow countryman.
That's really well, doesn't he? Here we see the change. Casemiro, tenacious play from the Real Madrid midfield player.
Suarez is not going to win a race with around one of the quickest defenders in world football. He's found his form again recently, Luis Suarez. Went 5 games without a goal. And now he's scored 6 in his last 5 La Liga matches. Jordi Alba. Iniesta. Paulinho. Messi takes it on. Carvajal digs in. Now Kovacic. Sergio Ramos. Modric. Marcelo. Rose on the outside of a brilliant ball. PK commits. Goal kick.
Modric really beginning to take control of the game, isn't he? Dictating the way that Real Madrid play when they pass the ball forward, when they keep possession. See evidence again of the offside goal that Ronaldo had disallowed early in the game.
Suarez can't be offside. Effectively a back pass. Plays it to Messi. Bit of ball juggling from little Messi. Paulinho. Messi continues. Casemiro has to be careful.
Yeah, that's the role Casemiro has to play. We spoke earlier about swapping with Kovacic. I think that's a risk. I think if he takes responsibility for staying in that position where Messi likes to operate, there's no misunderstanding. If he goes forward and he hopes that Kovacic takes his place, that just might not happen. On 1 or 2 occasions, and Messi will profit.
Messi is the corner taker. Cristiano Ronaldo is the defender who wins the header. Rakitic breezes past Cruz. Even Benzema's back defending. All hands to the pump for Real Madrid. Iniesta. Messi dropping deep. Largely been playing alongside Suarez, but he's now taking on that blue bottle role where he just buzzes around and you can't pin him down.
Yep, he's becoming frustrated because that midfield area is dominated by central midfield players. There's very little room for Messi to operate in. That might be the feature of the game for quite a while before it does stretch out and open up. So congested in and around that centre circle.
Messi. Carvajal casually back to Keylor Navas. The Marlins header.
Yes, they're really urging his teammates to calm down, settle down, keep possession, perhaps be a little bit more patient.
So far it's a controlled performance from both teams. It's a study of first-class football. Cristiano Ronaldo. There's some doubts about his fitness. He trained alone 2 days this week and he rejoined the team fully yesterday. Modric. Brilliant blindside run by Kovacic. The Marlins header.
So much space, wasn't there, for Kovacic. Makes that run from deep, timed it really well. Space in the wide positions. Carvajal and doing enough together to deny Luis Suarez.
The lunchtime sun beating down into the eyes of Ter Stegen, causing him and the Barca defenders a problem. PK not blinded though. The referee again spots an infringement.
Ramos with a challenge on Vermaelen, given against Real Madrid.
Well, they take a break in Spain after today, but we have plenty of football here on Sky Sports on Boxing Day. Don't forget it's Spurs against Southampton, midday kickoff on Sky Sports Premier League channel. And later that day, at Anfield, Liverpool against Swansea. Effectively get 2 weekends off in Spain. They come back to the Copa del Rey. Ronaldo too far ahead of Karim Benzema. Times are a-changing at both of these clubs. They disbanded the MSN and the BBC. Now Benzema, Cristiano haven't played together, even been on the field together since the 39th minute of last year's El Clasico in April. So Messi and Suarez is M&S.
It won't be a surprise, will it, to see Bale at some stage. It's what he's been doing in recent matches to good effect. Something Zidane would have considered in his team selection before the game. Regaining fitness, but the game is level. If it's tight, it's certainly a fantastic substitute to have.
Carvajal. Varane. Kovacic. Marcelo's out left. Marcelo dinks it in. Easy for Piqué to deal with. Marcelo fizzes again. Still easy for Piqué to deal with. Kroos. Iniesta and Modric collide. Two of the lightweights in the division.
Huge respect for each other, no surprise. Modric really throwing himself into this challenge, likewise Iniesta. See the difference Barcelona under early, so many players back behind the ball. It's 2 moments you think that Real Madrid are threatening on the counter-attack. Before you know it, 6 or 7 Barcelona players are back behind the ball. Working really hard to make sure they're hard to score against, which has been the case for the majority of this season. Continuing to do so again today.
The first mistimed challenge by Sergio Ramos, catching Paulinho. Rakitic. Sergio Roberto. Barcelona haven't been allowed to burst into life so far. Here is Messi with his minder, Kovacic. It's interesting now, Terry. Kovacic does seem to be following Messi around. He's gone to the left-back position because Messi is on the right wing. Is the space elsewhere to be exploited? Messi, Paulinho, great run from Paulinho! All a little rushed, took a touch.
Great save. Change in pace in Barcelona's attack there. Impatient, haven't they? Paulinho, no surprise to see him in an attacking position. It's a great run in behind. Of course he trusts Messi's going to spot the run. They have the skill to put it on the plate for him. Great attempt at goal, fantastic goalkeeper from Keylor Navas. Tip it over the bar.
Rakitic with this corner. Piqué has one step. Carvajal gets dug in. Piqué goes down. Is please call that empty ears. Marcelo finds the escape route. Toni Kroos. Kovacic has freed himself from looking after Messi. Half an hour gone. We await the first goal.
And again, Rob, it's great defensive play from Barcelona. It looked like it was going to counter-attack from Real Madrid, but players got back quickly. They slowed down Marcelo. Piqué was appealing for a penalty. Within 10 seconds, 15 seconds, he's back behind the ball as well. Barcelona working really hard to deny Real Madrid at the moment.
Marcelo. Ronaldo. Shifting through the gears. The step over from Ronaldo! Again, needed.
Ronaldo, the game's opening up.
Rose corner. Ronaldo crashes through the crowd. Well, an important save from both keepers. This was Piqué's penalty claim.
Just throwing himself in.
They claimed David De Gea would have been here. There's always speculation in the Spanish press. There are strong possibilities that Kepa, the keeper from Athletic Bilbao, may be joining Real Madrid. Navas rarely puts in a bad showing. The Costa Rican representative in this global game. Piercing whistles from the Real Madrid supporters. They haven't spotted a Barcelona fan yet. A few half-and-half scarves from the tourists in town. You can't be half and half. It's impossible to be neutral when viewing this game, unless you're the commentary team, of course. Varane. Launches it at Benzema. Only 2 La Liga goals this season for Karim Benzema. He's actually failed to score in 10 of his last 12 matches. But he always gets the backing of his manager, fellow countryman Zinedine Zidane, appreciating the running that he puts in for the team. Doing the running for Barcelona is Piqué. Get back, shouts the bench. It's not that time yet. Busquets is sold short by Lionel Messi. Ronaldo wins it off Messi. Modric. Ronaldo's run. He's onside. He's got Benzema in support. He feeds Benzema. It took 2 to stop him.
Again, it's really good work defensively from Barcelona, because when Real Madrid are in the mood and in top form and they get those chances on the counter-attack, they really make the most of them. Modric with a great pass in behind. Ronaldo just about beats the offside traps, gets behind Jordi Alba and Thomas Varane on the left side of Barcelona's defence. Places it across the 6-yard box, couple of deflections. Piqué does well to track the runner, Benzema. I think it's actually a right call.
Top-class defending from Marlon and Piqué. Here's another view of that superb save.
It's literally fingertips, isn't it? Reflexes were fantastic from Keylor Navas. Attempt on goal from Paulinho.
He was voted 3rd in the World Goalkeeper of the Year, behind Buffon and Neuer. Piqué. Busquets. Ronaldo looking lively, no signs of that reported hamstring injury. Marcelo frees himself from defensive duty. Toni Kroos. Kovacic. Marcelo. Roberto loses Marcelo. He sticks to his task, is helped out by Piqué. Busquets. Iniesta finds freedom, but poor pass by Andres Iniesta.
two signs, haven't they, from Barcelona? They've got the potential, of course they have, to just bring some attacking play, use their quality in the attacking half of the pitch, but by and large they've been content to make sure they're disciplined in midfield. Busquets has stayed just in front of the two central defenders. Not seen too much of Jordi Alba pushing forward, certainly not Sergio Roberto, so the emphasis from Barcelona has been on a disciplined performance.
Marcelo. Kept in play by Roberto. It's a pass from Sergio Roberto. He's taken a heavy blow, Marcelo. He's looking uncomfortable down there. I think he's going to require a little bit of attention. Whiplash.
It's the shot of Sergio Roberto, isn't it? It's intentional. Still skipping away from Carvajal, back heel from Jordi Alba. It's followed by this points pass from Iniesta to Luis Suarez. Full-backs challenge there together. PK getting out. So Marcelo just slipping over the ball when he was trying to cut it back towards the edge of the box. We'd like to see more, of course, of Messi in the game. Zinedine Zidane certainly wouldn't be happy with the way that his team have kept Messi quiet so far.
Pamala. Now PK.
Busquets has been slightly off colour in the first half, in his usual self, in terms of his passing distribution.
Neat work from Sergio Roberto. Iniesta brings the flying Jordi Alba into play, the man who's created more goals for Barcelona than any other this season. Only for that man Messi. Iniesta rides the challenge from Modric. Alba. Messi gets the cross in. Ooh, brave header by Paulinho, and it required another save from Navas. And Paulinho at the moment is the danger man.
Both teams have got their different ways of attacking, isn't it? Counter-attack play from Real Madrid. When Barcelona step up the pace and the tempo in that final third, they're really tough to deal with. 3 or 4 players getting involved. Paulinho again getting into the centre-forward position. It's a really good attempt at goal. Come from save from Keylor Navas, one you'd expect him to make, but good attacking play, sharp play from Barcelona.
Not much of a run-up for Rakitic. Lionel Messi. Kovacic. So close to him, he's almost wearing his shirt. Suarez. Neat feet from Suarez, leaves Marcelo on the ground. And Casemiro is the insurance man in there. Marcelo. Now Benzema. Stretch of the legs for Cristiano Ronaldo. 4 defenders greet him, cuts it back. Benzema. Oh, he so wanted to get it to Carvajal. Carvajal gets it. Puts it in. Busquets becoming the extra defender. And goal kick, some respite for Barca.
Again, another good counter-attack from Real Madrid. Barcelona have really defended the crosses well, haven't they? Predominantly when the ball has been delivered into the box. It's Romano or PK who's there first. The fullbacks haven't made any rash challenges, and there's been plenty of opportunities to do that when Marcelo and Carvajal were pushing forward for Real Madrid. Just lost the momentum of that attack, didn't they? You see Ronaldo with the, I was going to say half chance earlier on. It was a real good chance. We see Mr. Kashmir Carvajal.
That's been exported. He's playing the ball out from the back to the 2 centre-halves who split, but Real Madrid have found a way of stopping it. Ter Stegen has to hit it long.
Paulinho's the interesting position, isn't it? We talked about Kovacic and Casemiro where they were going to play. Paulinho's playing at centre forward alongside Suarez at times.
Marcelo stops by Sergio Roberto. Well, he has been the surprise hit coming in from Chinese football, Paulinho. Never really made an impression at Tottenham. Marcelo's cross. Benzema steals in. First time he's found any space, agonisingly close.
Yeah, brilliant centre-forward play. Good attacking play from Real Madrid. Cross moving into the box, exactly the right time, and standing movement from Karim Benzema. You can see initially he makes that run, drifts towards the far post. When the cross is delivered, sharp run across for Marlon. So unlucky to see his header flash across goal, just off the outside of the post.
Paulinho. From Carvajal. Ronaldo switched wings. He's got space with Carvajal. They line up anticipating the cross. Carvajal can only find Iniesta.
Just about get away with that last night. I've no idea why Jordi Alba was on the halfway line looking for a flick on from Paulinho. Back position was vacated and so much space again for Carvajal. Made the most of those opportunities. There's been numerous opportunities in the first half for Real Madrid to pick out a pass, to be a bit more precise with the final ball into the 18-yard box.
Roberto, Varane comes high. Ronaldo wasn't expecting it. He's standing offside.
So Benzema does really well. Typical centre forwards.
Rakitic. PK to Busquets. No goals. We approach the final scheduled minute of the first half. You feel it's going pretty much according to the plan of both coaches so far, Terry?
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting if there's no goal in the first half, how it's going to pan out as the game goes on, because we know Real Madrid, they won't be happy with a draw, with a points deficit. A win can turn the tide and get them back in the title race, and they'll be down to 8 and have their game in hand. Could be down to 5 eventually. So I think that the nature of the game, the personality of the game will change, the mentality of the teams will change. In the last 30 minutes or so, if it's all level.
There is Andres Iniesta. Rarely goes 90 minutes, only done so once this season. But they preserved him for this game. Messi. Roberto. Messi, who was caught in full flight by Marcelo. Really a mistimed challenge.
The angle of the set piece, which is an important aspect of that foul from Marcelo.
Just a single minute added to the first half. This could be the final opportunity. It's a grand distance out, but it is Lionel Messi standing over the ball. Paulinho and Suarez waiting for any spillages.
Well, 30 seconds to go before the half-time break, so no doubt he's going to take on the shot. Why not? Difficult.
A small wall is built for protection. Messi draws breath. Messi delivers, but it's Casemiro and Ronaldo who clash heads, keeping it out of there. Half-time whistle goes. Nothing between these two teams. Cristiano Ronaldo bravely blocking the shot of Lionel Messi half-time. It's 0-0.
Got us so far at the Bernabeu in the first Clásico of this La Liga season, and plenty to talk about with Thierry and Guillem. What about the Real Madrid chances, particularly for Cristiano Ronaldo early on?
Well, early on, yeah, he had a good chance. We don't often see him missing the ball like he did. It's a very interesting game. We were calling it the El Táctico so far, especially in midfield, but here you expect him to bury it. I thought he was going to control it, but how many times we've seen him connecting with that ball, first touch, and the ball ending in the back of the net. Obviously he didn't. And then you have, this one. That's what I like about Ronaldo when he's efficient. Well, one step over, go, and what a save. What a save. I think always go with your leg. If he goes there with his hand, it's a goal.
And Karim Benzema has 9 Classico goals so far. Could have been 10, Guillaume.
Could have been. It was a great cross from Marcelo, and then you have 2 choices, I suppose, as a striker, as Thierry was telling me. One, you actually dive for it and go with all your strength, or you try to place the ball. And I think Benzema, by placing it, misses that kind of a little advantage you can take by just going for it. It would have been a goal otherwise.
We saw Marc-Andre ter Stegen making a vital save there. Keylor Navas has saved twice from Paulinho, who we were discussing before the game.
Well, it's not easy to deal with Paulinho because he makes those runs, especially when Leo is on the ball, as we saw here. And I mean, what a strike and what a save from Navas. And a lot of people obviously are having a go at him recently, but that's a hell of a save because he does touch it really well. And here, Leo is on the ball, crossing the ball, and same almost Benzema-like, although he went first post, and I thought that Navas could have done it a tiny bit better here. But yes, Paulinho has been very dangerous, especially coming late on the run from midfield.
Gerard Piqué and Dani Carvajal getting in a little bit of tangle in the 18-yard box, but was it a penalty? Guillaume, what were your thoughts on this one?
We've been discussing this one for the last 20 minutes. For me, it's a penalty because there is actually contact, and you cannot see it clearly. The referee is well positioned. You see Piqué going in such a bad way that it doesn't look like a penalty. He's not even clear in this angle, but just wait for the next angle. There is contact in the feet of his position. We call it pied de posición. The one that holds him. The one that holds him. But it's just how he goes down that makes you wonder if actually he deserves the penalty. But the contact is there.
OK,
no?
Thierry, what do you think?
No, I don't think it was a penalty. You can see the reaction of some of the players. Contact, yes. I think what fooled a bit the ref is that the ball went exactly where the foot of Carvajal went. So the foot of Carvajal touched the foot, as I agree with you, of Piqué, and the ball went that way. And I think the ref thought it wasn't, and I don't think it was. Piqué didn't go down well. You have to go down on the contact, not a bit after. I don't think it was a pen.
Well, I mean, he is a centre-back after all, so maybe he isn't versed in the arts of going down the box quite so well. What about the tactical side of this? You mentioned it, El Táctico, rather than El Clásico, and how Real Madrid have set up for this game.
You can see early doors, they're trying to match their 4 in midfield. You can see Modric, Kroos, Casemiro and Kovacic trying to match the 4 inside, and it became very difficult for Barcelona, especially early doors. Sometimes Casemiro was switching with Kovacic, and it became very difficult. They had to go long at times, so very unlike Barcelona. But it was refreshing to see that Real Madrid didn't want to give them anything. And then, you can see here.
You saw the Ter Stegen pass. They knew that they cannot miss anything. But meanwhile, what about Messi and Kovacic? Why was Kovacic there? And I think you can see a little bit why he was there. He's the one keeping an eye on Messi's run and forgetting even about the ball. So when he was close, when Kovacic was close to Messi, there was man marking. If it was him, it was Casemiro. There will be always somebody on Messi at the point of him receiving the ball.
OK, so who will be the happier of the 2 managers, Thierry?
I would say Barca right now. A draw away from home against Real Madrid is not a bad result. You still didn't concede. But on the other side also, if you're Real Madrid, you kind of stop then playing in a way. But is it enough? Now you need to score.
The bench, remember. Now they can just bring so many good players, Real Madrid.
It's interesting because we were saying before, we often get an early goal in Clásicos, particularly at the Bernabeu. It hasn't happened on this occasion. However, the last goalless draw in El Clásico was back in 2002. And in 87 at El Bernabeu, we're still waiting for the first breakthrough of this game. But there's been plenty to discuss, and could indeed the substitutes have a crucial role to play. Still 45 to go. Stay with us for the second half here on Sky Football, Sky Mix and Sky One. Don't forget, we've got the darts ongoing at Alexandra Palace, and it's the 10th day of the Championship. And remember, tonight, Phil the Power Taylor and Raymond van Barneveld are both in action. So this is the scene in Madrid. Remember that this game kicked off at 1 p.m. local time in Madrid, but there were plenty of beers being downed on the Calle Concha Espina, and an excellent atmosphere inside the Bernabeu. And this is the scene inside the tunnel, and you can see Marcelo, Casemiro, Ronaldo there in conversation. There's Sergio Ramos. How long do you think, Guillem, till we see Bale or Isco in this game?
To be honest, I think the game plan has worked well for Real Madrid, even though they possibly would have liked to score one goal, of course. But they have created the chances, they have stopped Messi. There is enough there to suggest that at least he's going to give them an hour. And after that is whatever happens. If they haven't scored, of course they've got so many possibilities. Isco, Bale, Asensio. You could say that those three can come in and change the game completely. We don't play anymore with 11 players. It's 14 that you
But it's been one of the failings, if you like, in Madrid this season, simply that the replacements haven't contributed as well as they did last season when we had Morata, James, Lucas Vázquez, etc. What about Barcelona? We're not expecting Andrés Iniesta necessarily to last the full 90 minutes, but if he goes off, who would you replace him with?
Well, André Gomes, Denis Suarez, that played recently. But for me, the way Barcelona are right now is you still didn't concede a goal. Like I said before, you're away from home. Yes, Real Madrid had some opportunities, but you're still well in the game and well ahead in the league.
OK, well, referees there in conversation with Luka Modric. Let's hand you back to your commentary team, Terry Gibson and Rob Palmer.
Two teams who have had on the side of caution in the first half. Real Madrid just edging the possession. Lionel Messi hasn't been unleashed yet. The referee stargazing. All 22 are out. No changes have been made. The gaze of the footballing world is once more upon the Bernabeu. Nothing to choose between these two teams. Barcelona only lost 2 games this season. They were against Real Madrid. They haven't lost in the last 24 games since the Spanish Super Cup. Real Madrid a grand distance behind Barca in the standings, but they do have a game in hand to be played in February. Sergio Roberto to the sunny side of the field, to Paulinho, had that outstanding chance in the first half. Benzema, Carvajal. If you're just joining us, Real Madrid were pretty much as we expected. The one surprise was in midfield, where Kovacic started. Gareth Bale, Asensio and Isco are on the bench. Barcelona's side pretty much selects itself there. The weakest position is for Marlon, having to play alongside Gerard Piqué. As Cristiano Ronaldo whips it in. There's the trademark tantrum.
Well, we've seen him numerous times, hundreds of times over the years, cut inside and use his right foot from the left flank. On many occasions this season, there have been better options to keep the attack going, to play a little give and go around the edge of the box. He's claiming the corner there.
He felt it had grazed the back of Sergio Roberto's socks. Casemiro. Marginal decision.
Two midfield players tussling for possession. Rakitic does no more than just run alongside Casemiro. You see the attempt from the angle from Ronaldo. Midfield for the corner.
Needs must goalkeeping there from Keylor Navas. It's an untidy clearance as well, puts his team under pressure. Busquets. Suarez. Iniesta. Suarez fakes to go inside. Navas has been lively. Less to face than his opposite number, but one top-class save to keep out Paulinho in the midst of the first half. Barcelona do have their problems at the moment. Dembele's not back fully fit yet. Rafinha is rejoining the team. And he was saying, Terry, during the half-time break, there's very little for Barcelona to dip into. This is Paulinho, supported by Sergio Roberto. The hot ticket, 80,264. Means that a few hundred didn't turn up. Watched by 500 million around the world. 180 different countries, all tuning in. Busquets. Iniesta. Alba. The pendulum of possession is swung the way of Barcelona in the second half. Roberto. Rakitic. Madrid happy to sit back. Rakitic takes it to them. Now Suarez steadies the pace. And Modric clears.
No doubt whatsoever that type of style of play suits Barcelona better, doesn't it? It's a form of defending away from home against Real Madrid. Real Madrid at times lose discipline and become impatient, and the team does have possession against them. Opened up nicely there initially for Rakitic and knocked the ball wide. Real Madrid were able to close it out, but this type of play certainly does suit Barcelona more. It's up to Real Madrid to get out, to try and confront them, to try and win the ball back as quick as they did in the first half.
It was a little different to the pace of the game which was played here last April. That fiery 3-2 game. Ronaldo blocked by Piqué. Busquets. Paulinho.
And you can see this clearly, as it's so soon after the half-time break, it's the instruction from the coach to take the heat out of the game. It certainly controls the tempo of the game, doesn't it, from Barcelona's perspective.
Busquets to Paulinho. Benzema comes back and chases. Well, struggling to get possession. Lazy layoff from Suarez.
The possession game for Barcelona looks fluid amongst the usual suspects. When it goes into Paulinho, he is tempted now and then to do a back heel and flick round the corner and does give away possession. Up to Busquets, Sergio Roberto, Andres Iniesta have played this way their whole life. Quite happy to go sideways, to go backwards. They know the importance of keeping the ball.
All side shows there that the referee ignores. Casemiro digs in. Benzema, the referee doing his bit to try to keep things flowing as it's become decidedly scrappy.
That's what Real Madrid have to do, go and confront. They can't allow Barcelona easy possession. They have to get amongst them. Iniesta, Teslin, Casemiro and Busquets. Talked about the congested area of the pitch with all those central midfield players playing in the game. This was a difficult back pass from Toni Kroos, but to have to deal with as well, because you just see Messi creeping into the picture there, looking for a loose touch from the goalkeeper.
He's very much the modern goalkeeper, Keylor Navas. If you see his workout routine, it's like heading to Cirque du Soleil with his acrobatics. Piqué. Paulinho. Stepping through a minefield of tackles. Oh, Kroos trying to free Cristiano Ronaldo. Now Messi.
Again, you see the Barcelona usual players just keeping it nice and easy. Two-touch football, keeping the ball moving. Paulinho again, giving the ball away.
Messi broke the hearts of the Real Madrid supporters with that last-minute goal last season. It's a lovely ball. Alba, full steam ahead. Cuts it back. Suarez. To the rescue again is Navas.
Style of play from Barcelona in the second half, and is this a tentative finish from Luis Suarez? Certainly not tentative. Attacking play from Jordi Alba, breaks down the left, cut back. It wasn't Messi on that occasion, it was Suarez with a side foot finish and a save from Keylor Navas.
Marcelo. Casemiro lays off to Benzema. Carvajal. Modric. Toni Kroos. Easy for Sergio Roberto to defend. Iniesta. Busquets.
Thought he was going to panic then.
Not Busquets, it's Rakitic. Drives on. Roberto to his right, Suarez to his left. Comes across to Suarez! First blood, Barcelona! Patience pays off.
Well, it's a classic Barcelona goal. Starts from the back with Busquets under severe pressure. True to their style of play, he doesn't panic. I joked about it, but you can see the importance of how Barcelona play, what they want to do. Come out with the second half and a completely different frame of mind. Possession is the be-all and end-all. You can see the lack of discipline from Real Madrid. Casemiro is caught upfield. Huge space in the centre midfield. I talked earlier about the importance of Kovacic taking up that responsibility. And Casemiro pushes forward. Rakitic was able to move freely into the attacking area of the pitch, into the danger area, and it really opens up. See, Kovacic allows Rakitic to run right through the middle. The ball out wide to Sergio Roberto. You think Sergio Roberto's got a shooting opportunity. Unselfish play, clever play from Sergio Roberto, and an emphatic finish from Luis Suarez.
Oh, unlucky for Navas, went right under his glove.
That's the pace of the finish, isn't it, that beats the Real Madrid goalkeeper from pretty close range. Crisp finish from Luis Suarez. It's been crisp play from Barcelona. Start the second half.
Suarez is flying now. A smiling assassin.
Took him so long, didn't it, now into double figures, and he's really motoring again now.
10 goals for the season. He went through a very long spell without scoring. Zidane is going to have to take action. Going to have to introduce some creative minds. Give Bale or Isco or Asensio a chance to express themselves. No longer can they sit back. Kroos. Marcelo. Ter Stegen leaves it. Important header from Alba. Suarez and Casemiro, and he leaves the studs in there as well. That is the complete Suarez package, isn't it?
They've both been aggressive. Suarez has given as good as he gets, as he always does. I'm not so sure there's a need for Suarez to roll around in agony. Shoulder to shoulder. Suarez wins that tussle. Casemiro doesn't do anything wrong there. There's a little bit of afters. I think he tries, doesn't he, Casemiro? It's self-preservation in the heat at the moment. Swings his leg round. I'm not so sure he catches Suarez, though.
Let's fire things up a little bit.
Yep, the festive greetings have started in the second half, that's for sure.
Marcelo. Nice take from Benzema, but a blind pass. Easy for Busquets to cut out. Rakitic. Ramos. Stay at home defenders. Ramos has left his post. Busquets with a fine tackle. Paulinho. Now Lionel Messi. Suarez alongside him. Suarez, cheekily, or did he cheekily try to go for the near post? I think it was actually the turf which decided where he was going to go. It was a slip.
Yep, you can see that clearly with the divot that's left after Suarez. The game is opening up. Real Madrid are going to have to be careful. Varane plays Suarez onside. Initially Suarez is looking to square it again, but sees the gap at the near post, but just slipped. So he's finishing attempt off.
Marcelo. Kovacic to Modric. That goal has affected the harmony of Real Madrid. It was keeping them guessing.
It's not that trio, though, is it?
There's a world-class striker that he has on the bench.
Isco, Bell. Let's give you half a chance to get back in the game.
If you're a really brave man, would you throw on all three?
A complete change in system, wouldn't it?
Modric to Carvajal. Stopped by his fellow Spain international fullback, Jordi Alba. Modric. Suarez is down again. Ramos is best advised to get out of there. Traditional booking in the Clásico for Sergio Ramos.
Looking to protect the ball.
That was a slap across the face, wasn't it? He just can't help himself sometimes.
Two or three challenges in the first half as well. I think that's as much of a touching up procedure as well.
Well, he has it. He has quite a rap sheet in Clásicos. Sergio Ramos, 5 red cards against Barcelona.
Well, he has to keep his head pure and simple. This team we're up against it at the moment. Trying to get themselves back in the title race. 1 goal down at home. It's quite obvious there, isn't it? And how we got slow motion and the perfect angle on the replay.
It's an old-fashioned clip of the year, wasn't it?
Again, I'm not so sure Suarez is particularly badly injured, but coming off the game, slowing the game down, getting an opponent in trouble.
We can see the top knot. Will it be top notch?
It is all three. Is there all 3? Or just the 2 so far? More than just the 1 substitute from Madrid.
Messi. Messi squirms away. He looks pleadingly at the referee, who gives him the free kick.
Casemiro turns on the outside of his ankle and Salah gets him with the other leg. Space there. I talked earlier about the trust in leaving Kovacic in the holding midfield position. Casemiro shouldn't leave that role at all. That should be purely, totally his responsibility. If you share that responsibility and a player doesn't concentrate, such as Kovacic there, it's far too easy for Rakitic to make ground, get into the final third of the pitch. It's uncomfortable for Barcelona, that goal from a Madrid perspective.
The significance is if Barcelona win today, Real Madrid will be behind them in the standings by 14 points. Atletico is second, of course, but they blew it on that Friday night. And Suarez is gifted a chance here. Messi's inside. It's a dreadful clearance to Paulinho. And they're offering no protection at the moment at all to Keylor Navas.
I believe it was Kovacic as well chasing back with a back heel. A player that hasn't played much and appears to be pace tough to deal with in a Clásico and one of his few games to return from injury.
Oh, he's down. I think he's going to be taken out of the firing line at the next opportunity by Zinedine Zidane. PK strides adventurously out of defence and continues the run. Messi picks out Suarez. Suarez, chance to kill the game. Oh, Navas again keeps it alive. Danger hasn't gone away. It's Lionel Messi to Suarez. Barcelona hit the post again. Paulinho. It's circus football, but the referee is spoiling the fun. Red card. Carvajal dismissed.
And this is going to significantly change the plans of Zinedine Zidane. Looking to bring the subs on as a Obviously a handball in here, no complaints from Carvajal. Sure that Barcelona didn't finish this attack off quicker and sooner. Suarez with the first attempt. Messi tried to set Suarez up again. There's no handball there, and it's a really good save from Carvajal, isn't it? No wonder there's no complaints. He leaps up.
Well, it's needs must, but I just wonder whether the referee needed to give the penalty. If he just held his whistle for a second, the goal would have been given. All adds to the drama. Real Madrid down the man again in a Clásico. Lionel Messi on the spot. The eyes of the world on Lionel Messi, who doesn't fail. Messi does it again. The record scorer in all of the Clásicos puts Barcelona some distance ahead of the pack in La Liga.
He missed one last week against Deportivo La Coruña, and this week he certainly didn't look nervous, did he? Didn't mess about, puts his foot through the ball in towards the top corner. Real Madrid down to 10 men. We know their spirit, we know they won't give up. But this is an uphill task now for Zidane's team. Is he going to still make the necessary changes? Should he have done it quicker? 1-0. 11 against 11, there was still a chance. He delayed the substitutions. Carvajal with a handball. Messi with a penalty. Puts Barcelona firmly in control. Not only today, but perhaps the rest of the season.
He loves to pose, doesn't he, Lionel Messi? And he is going to be the headline maker tomorrow. Well, surely Zidane has to gamble. He's going to bring on Nacho, an extra defender, to make up for the loss of the defender of Carvajal. But he has to consider his gamble here. He's got nothing to lose, Terry, has he?
You look at the players that he's got out there. He's taken off Benzema, I think, and Nacho coming on, which sends out a signal that supporters don't agree with. You could put Casemiro back into the back four if you wanted to just shore things up at the back.
Well, it's very rare that the Real Madrid supporters question the wisdom of Zinedine Zidane. 8 majors as a manager. They hold 5 titles at the moment. But quizzical looks around the Bernabeu when he takes off a centre forward and brings on a defender with his team 2 goals down and a man down.
You could go to a back 3, couldn't you? You could do something to try and shape it up, to try and give your team the chance. Gareth Bale still in his kit, prepared, ready for action.
Here is Kovacic to Cristiano Ronaldo. Kovacic again as PK sticks out a boot. The fans claiming it was a hand. Now Paulinho.
I don't like Real Madrid off just yet. We haven't seen the spirit on that many occasions this season. It is recent. Last season, so important in their title victory. Coming back from goals behind, late goals, late winners, never giving up.
Well, 3/4 of the game gone, and he is going for it, Zidane. He's going to utilise all of his allocation of substitutes. Bale and Asensio will enter the ring. I think it's with Bale. I mean, he started off his career as a fullback. He could almost play in that hybrid position.
We talked about Real Madrid. What Barcelona have to do now is what they've done right at the start of the second half. Possession-based game, more patient. The fact that Real Madrid was slow to get out, close them down, encouraged Barcelona that it was the right method. It's paid off with 2 goals. Against 10 men, it should be slightly easier. Of course, with a 2-goal advantage, they don't have to go chasing any more goals. The attacks will open up, make the pitch as big as they possibly can. They're certainly going to be up against a little bit more speed now, aren't they, with Gareth Bale and Asensio coming on.
They beat Barcelona with 10 men earlier in the season, didn't they? The Spanish Super Cup, when Ronaldo was dismissed. 3/4 of the game gone. Suarez and Messi, familiar names on the Clásico score sheet. Barcelona utilising the extra little bit of space afforded by Carvajal's dismissal.
Just going to say classic PK, isn't it? 2 goals up for home against Real Madrid. Couldn't resist the temptation there to run forward with the ball. Rakitic was the player, and Busquets, they both filled in quickly.
Jordi Alba. Get on your feet, says the referee. You see collides with Nacho. Marcelo's caught in possession. Messi. Paulinho. And lucky that Keylor Navas is on top form.
Yeah, it was a heavy last touch, wasn't it, from Paulinho? Just got away from him, gave the goalkeeper a chance of getting there first.
Kovacic gives it away midfield again to Andres Iniesta. It'll be interesting at the end of the game to roll back that second goal and see where it actually stemmed from. Here's Lionel Messi. Kovacic half stops him. Messi is fully stopped by Keylor Navas. They smell blood, Barcelona.
Yeah, I cannot understand how long it's taken Real Madrid to make these changes. Kovacic has been struggling for about 10 minutes in the midfield position. Suffering with fatigue, not being able to get around the pitch. They're down to 10 men.
Busquets happy to slow it down to a walking pace. Suarez, Messi. Jordi Alba. Zidane said in the build-up to the game he didn't believe that the league was over if they lost today, but it is going to be a massive gap if they can't pull it back. 11 points at kick-off, 14 points if it remains like this. The distance between these two clubs, Valencia and Atletico, sandwiched between them.
Simply Barcelona not allowing Real Madrid to make those changes, are they? But keeping possession for about 10 minutes now.
Roberto. Ronaldo to Marcelo, who breaks the ranks. Marcelo to Cristiano Ronaldo. How they need the World Player of the Year to do something special. Fires it in. Iniesta digs it. Now Paulinho, the link man. Suarez. Time for change. This is how they came alive.
They've done that really well in the second half. We've seen more of Lionel Messi because his team have had more possession. Navas.
The double change is made. Not before time, as far as the Real Madrid supporters are concerned. Asensio and Bailon. Casemiro and Kovacic replaced in midfield. Modric.
Isco as well, isn't it? He started for the weekend. We assumed it would be him or Bell. We've seen Messi get a second goal there from the penalty spot.
Well, Isco has played more games than anybody else for Real Madrid this season. His form over the last year has been outstanding. But Isco remains a spectator as they've made all of the changes. Sergio Roberto. Paulinho tries to free himself at the far post. Modric to Marcelo. Nacho. Luka Modric. side. Marcelo. Asensio comes off the rear of Sergio Roberto. Lionel Messi. Roberto. Only Suarez ahead of him, so he has to go sideways. This remains the pace of the game. I think Iniesta would see the full 90 minutes out, won't he?
And it's important, Robbie, in terms of what Barcelona are trying to do, trying to defend a 2-goal lead against 10 men, keep things ticking over. He uses his experience and his quality to make sure his teammates continue to do exactly what they've done throughout this second half. Bringing on Denis Suarez to replace him. We know that Denis Suarez is going to be enthusiastic. He's going to get on the ball. He's going to dribble with the ball and maybe at times give the ball away.
To the final quarter of an hour here at the Bernabeu. Busy weekend of football here on Sky Sports. Don't forget, later this evening it's Leicester City against Manchester United. Build-up starts at 7 o'clock on the Sky Sports Premier League channel. Kroos to Marcelo. Busquets. Barcelona playing a dangerous game back there. Sergio Roberto's doing everything he can, isn't he, to keep his arms out of the way. He's got them behind his back, turns his back on the cross. In a sense, it clearly wasn't on the hand. Elbow, yes. Speed from Varane, but there's a nudge in the back from Messi, in the opinion of the referee's assistant. Merest of touches, isn't it, on Varane after he played the ball. Just as he was playing the ball from Messi, just touches him on the back. Time to change for Barcelona as well. They're going to bring on Semedo, and maybe not unsurprisingly, it's Andres Iniesta who is replaced. As he has been in all but one game that he started this season. Homage from the travelling Barcelona supporters. And they take off a midfield man, bring on a full-back in Semedo. One would imagine that Sergio Roberto will take on a position, if not the role, of Iniesta in midfield as part of the rejig. Barcelona about to make history. First time ever they've won 3 successive games in La Liga at the Bernabeu. Unless there is a dramatic turnaround from Zidane's team. Ramos. I'm still of the opinion, Rob, that there's still something left in this game for Real Madrid that we've seen it too often in the past, particularly under Zidane. This plays header from the substitute Semedo. Asensio's in. Oh, that's some tackle. Vermaelen earns his stripes. It's been super today, isn't it? High fives all around, but they're going to switch on again. Marcelo. Ronaldo. As the clock ticks down, Real Madrid are beginning to come alive here. Here is the resistance. It's Modric. Gareth Bale! Oh, Bale was almost back in a blaze of glory. That would have been some introduction. Benzema. Lionel Messi has space. Fine stop from Nacho. Now it's taken on Clasico proportions. Yeah, this is more like the traditional Real Madrid, isn't it? More attacking players, more pace in the team. Just Kroos and Modric, no holding midfielder. In the centre of the midfield area now for Real Madrid. So no pushing on. Bale. Marcelo. doesn't make it. Ronaldo's a heap on the floor. Suarez, great tackle by Modric. Varane. Bale, you know, he'd like to get it onto that left foot and put in a sweeping shot, which he does. Oh, Ter Stegen. A bit of loose goalkeeping there. But the German is winning the battle with a Welshman.
Clearly still work for Barcelona to do to make sure they get all 3 points. Barcelona didn't really believe the attempt from Gareth Bale just that he might spill it. By the time he reacted, it was easy for the goalkeeper to get the spillage.
Semedo. Roberto to Semedo, continues the run. Semedo! Flashes it across the face of goal. Deflected off the keeper, I think it was.
Again, it's another good save from Keylor Navas. It's going to be the 2 players playing on the right side of the pitch, getting involved, bringing Messi into the play. Good run off the ball. Modric here, in towards the box. Gareth Bale on his right foot, just slightly behind him, but he should do better. Should get more power on the finish. So down there, long-range attempt, and clearly he's finding his moment there. Ter Stegen, which has been a really good season for him, but
hung in the air. Ronaldo clears. Alba. Busquets. Sergio Roberto. The final 10 minutes. Zidane is never the most expressive of coaches, but he's down there barking at his players, trying to bring them to life. Rakitic. Roberto. That's where the extra space is. Picked up by Alba. Messi. Modric. Gareth Bale. Steps on the gas. Stopped by Busquets once. Luka Modric. Sergio Ramos. Asensio. Ramos has gone into the centre forwards position. Asensio's cross, corner. Ramos will stay out there. Varane will join him. They've got to throw in all of the heavyweights. Taken quickly by Marcelo. Great ball in. Space for Kroos. Referee says no penalty. Ramos follows up. Ter Stegen with a very brave and brilliant block. Now he complains.
that's really good play from Sergio Ramos. Really sharp play. Time and get his shot away. Quick to react. Madrid trying to build some pressure. Marcelo's got to be careful. Got booked. Hands all over the referee.
They're too strong in his protest. The Brazilian is going to keep his head. Kroos aims for the near post, flashes across. PK with an important header. Asensio to Modric. Ronaldo. Oh, a footstep away from Sergio Ramos. He may have been offside, but he wasn't to know that as he did the splits.
But they haven't given up, have they? They're still with one man down. They've had 2 or 3 chances since Dani Carvajal was sent off. Modric feeds Ronaldo. Ramos is offside. Ronaldo slides it across goal. It is just out of reach. See Toni Kroos with the appeal again against Rakitic. His hands up in an unusual position. One's across his chest, one is firmly down by his side. It's not a penalty for me. Ter Stegen makes the save with his face there. And Sergio Ramos at the near post. Comes off his shoulder.
And Barcelona make the change. Paulinho giving the high fives for the whole of the bench. But Gomez is his replacement. Andre Gomez will have the instruction to keep things tight and organised for the remaining 6.5 minutes. Modric, stolen by Messi. Gomez immediately involved. Messi. Messi finding the freedom. Gomez joins in. Took a very important deflection. Committed block from Varane.
He's such a good player, isn't he, Sergio Roberto? Seen him playing in the right-back role. He steps into midfield and you forget what a good midfield player he is as well, so capable replacement for Iniesta at this stage of the game. So a really good touch. Fantastic centre forward there. Touch round the corner. Powerful attempt at goal, denied by Ter Stegen.
Busquets. Rakitic breezes past Marcelo. Stopped by Bale. Well, the good news for Real Madrid is that Gareth Bale is looking fit and fresh again after his year of injury problems. Bad news is they're 2 down. There's less than 5 minutes remaining, and they're a player down with Carvajal walking the plank for his deliberate handball. Messi wins it back. Ter Stegen has had to play his part as well. On the brink of his 11th clean sheet of the season in La Liga. Signs are he could be the German #1 of the World Cup this summer. His form has been so good. Suarez. Barca content to play down the clock. Real Madrid can't score if Barcelona have possession of the football. Roberto. Jordi Alba. Back to Messi. Head down that incredible close control. Checked by Varane.
At the end of that, he was trying to chip it towards the far post, wasn't he, for his teammate, strike partner, Suarez. He said he's never beaten the Zinedine Zidane team. I joked that he'd not been in charge of Barcelona on too many occasions during that run.
Tactically, Barcelona have been more masterly today. He came with the plan, Valverde. And his players have carried it off to the letter. Rakitic. Ronaldo wins it. Lionel Messi's volley. Ooh, uncomfortable save from Navas.
He makes it look easy. We shouldn't ignore that. The technique there with players closing him down. Ball coming down out of the sky. Able to hit the target. Keylor Navas into another save.
Well, last season, the title effectively came down to who won the Clásico. Real finished 3 points ahead of Barcelona. This is going to be so damaging. Could be the end of Real Madrid's title chances. Barca some distance ahead of the rest. And Busquets, despite his apology, he's booked. He's going to have an extra long break in the new year. Always the home game with Levante. Two minutes remaining. Real Madrid seeking inspiration.
Felt inferior to Real Madrid. A little What he assumed then, if there was going to be a points deficit of this much, it was going to be in favour of Zidane's team. So certainly Barcelona have used that setback pre-season as firm motivation. Real Madrid costly defeats against Betis here and Girona away.
Ronaldo. Spanish and European champions, World Club champions, and European Super Cup champions, and Spanish Super Cup champions have been humbled in front of their own supporters. Modric. He can be proud of his performance today. Not too many in the Real Madrid 11, 10 as they are now, will be too content with what they've put in. But that's at 9 because Marcelo's off the pitch, feeling the pain.
The first half was pretty even, wasn't it, in terms of percentage of possession, attempts on goal. I thought Real Madrid probably just shaded it.
Suarez to Messi. We enter the additional 3 minutes. Messi. Gomez. Oh, big chance. Andre Gomez.
Just lacked conviction on the finish there, didn't he, to really wrap things up for Barcelona. Just taking off care on the left-footed attempt. Just puts it over the crossbar. Sergio Roberto's view, I presume, as he picks out Luis Suarez. The goal of the game, always so important. Any top-level game of football, where the stakes are high and you're really close, that first goal, just so important to Barcelona. But they're playing the second half. They've clearly deserved to get the 3 points.
Piqué to Vidal. Messi on the score sheet once more. Leading the attack is Piqué. Now Vidal. The draws a corner and they are making life so difficult for Real Madrid. Many of the supporters have vacated the stadium, starting Christmas early. Job well done for Sergio Roberto. Assisted in the goal. Played a couple of positions. Drinking water, but there may be cracking open the carver later on.
Y ha demostrado, pues bueno, hoy ha
Messi.
encontrado los espacios, ha encontrado...
Sergi Busquets. Lionel Messi gets past Marcelo. Messi plays it back, and oh, will he squeeze it? Game 1, set and match. 3-0 Barcelona. They are humiliating Real Madrid. Alex Vidal joins the party.
Another great piece of play from Lionel Messi. Good finish from Vidal as well. Hasn't been on the pitch long. Wraps it up totally now for Barcelona. Real Madrid despondent, as you'd expect, 3 goals behind, down to 10 men. Barcelona thoroughly enjoying themselves yet again at the Bernabeu. And the supporters can now celebrate. Is this out of play when Messi gets it? Looks very close to being out of play. The play was allowed to continue. Real Madrid switch off. Marcelo loses track of Lionel Messi. Skips round Marcelo, too easy. Cut back towards the edge of the box. Players queuing up. Vidal would have the attempt. Just for a second there, you thought he wasn't going to cross the line. Keylor Navas gets more than enough to it, but it just creeps over the goal line for Barcelona.
Well, Alex Vidal enjoying the introduction. A rare mistake from Keylor Navas, but in truth, all the damage had been done well before that. Squirms through. The sun beating down on the Bernabeu. These are dark days for Real Madrid. and it's Happy New Year for Valverde and Barcelona. They have had a Saturday afternoon stroll at the Bernabeu. It's a historical moment as well, the first time they've ever won 3 games in a row away from home against Real Madrid, and the gap between the two teams now is a massive 14 points.